You meet her, and everything feels electric. The way she looks at you, laughs at your jokes, leans in just a little closer when you talk. It's like the universe aligned for that moment. She's texting first, showing interest, initiating plans, and giving off all the signals that she's drawn to you. And you feel it too. You feel seen, admired, respected. It feels real. But then, without warning, the energy shifts. She starts responding later. The excitement in her voice dulls. Her playful tone fades into short replies, and something in her eyes starts to look distracted. You rack your brain, wondering what changed. You didn't say anything wrong. You didn't do anything obvious to push her away. But still, you feel her slipping through your fingers. That slow emotional distance isn't about your worth. It's about your presence. What most men don't realize is that attraction is not just about what you do in the beginning. It's about how you carry it forward. In the start, your masculine energy was solid. You were calm, centered, relaxed in your own frame. But somewhere along the line, you let her emotional rhythm become your guide. Instead of anchoring her, you started reacting to her. And the moment a woman feels you've lost your emotional grip, she starts questioning the connection often. Without even realizing why, it's not about becoming colder or tougher. It's about being deeply rooted in yourself, so deeply that her changing emotions don't shake your foundation. When she's unsure, you stay certain. When she's testing, you remain composed. That's what draws her in. Not your efforts, not your words, but your grounded energy. If you don't protect that, she will feel it. Not logically, but emotionally. And when that shift happens, it's not her pulling away, it's you fading. From your own center, most men believe that matching a woman's vibe is the way to build connection. If she's excited, he amps up. If she's low energy, he softens. But in trying to mirror her, he loses what made him magnetic in the first place: his contrast. A woman doesn't want a reflection of her own emotional state. She wants a man who remains steady when her world feels chaotic. Masculine energy isn't meant to chase or adapt to her rhythm. It's meant to ground it. When she's emotional, you don't escalate. You stay composed. When she's overwhelmed, you stay calm. That stability is rare, and it's what creates emotional safety for her. You stop being the guy who's just reacting, and instead become the man who leads through energy. At the same time, connection doesn't grow in seriousness. Thrives in playfulness. A lot of guys ruin the vibe by getting too deep too fast. Every message becomes emotional. Every conversation becomes heavy. And while that may feel like intimacy to you, it starts feeling like emotional labor to her. What she's really drawn to is lightness, play, banter. When she says something intense, you smile. You don't dive into the mud with her, you float above it. Not because you don't care, because you know how to keep things in motion. When you stay playful, you become the escape, not the weight. She starts to associate you with relief, with energy, with good feelings. And that's what she chases. Because it's not about how much you open up. It's about how you make her feel. Lead the energy. Stay light. Stay stable. Let her adjust to your rhythm, not the other way around. That's the secret most men never learn, and the few who do. They never get forgotten. There's a quiet power in mystery that most men overlook. In an age where everyone overshares, where every move is explained and every thought is posted online, the man who holds back becomes rare and incredibly attractive. When you feel the need to explain yourself, justify your actions, or constantly prove your intentions, what you're really signaling is uncertainty. And women don't feel safe with uncertainty. It's not the kind you verbalize, but the kind that radiates from a man who second-guesses himself. The truth is, certainty is silent. A confident man doesn't need to convince anyone. He simply moves through the world, and people feel it. Mystery doesn't mean you're being dishonest. It means you're comfortable not being fully understood. It means you're okay letting her wonder. You don't tell her everything about your past, your emotions, or your plans not to play games. But because you understand that desire lives in curiosity, the more she has to guess, the more emotionally invested she becomes. When she reads between the lines, she starts imagining you. And imagination builds obsession faster than any fact ever will. This applies to your presence too. Speak with pauses. Let silence stretch. When she asks you something, don't rush to answer. That calm, deliberate energy makes her feel like she's dealing with a man who's in control of his world. You don't rush. You don't chase. You move at your pace and she leans in to match it. In that quiet, something awakens in her. Not logic. Not reason. But emotion. Fascination. A pull she can't explain, so don't over-explain. Don't reveal every card. Let her feel you more than she hears you. The less you reveal, the more powerful you become in her mind. Mystery isn't avoidance. It's masculine presence in its most magnetic form. At some point, every woman will test you. Not because she's trying to hurt you, not because she's emotionally unstable, but because her instincts are wired to seek out strength. She wants to know if the man she's investing in can truly hold his ground. These tests come in many forms: a sarcastic jab, a jealous accusation, a sudden shift in attitude or mood. And when it happens, most men panic. They get defensive. They explain. They try to fix the moment. But what they don't realize is that the test isn't about the words exchanged. It's about the energy you give off when pressure hits. If you react emotionally, you fail. If you chase validation or try to convince her she's wrong, you crumble under the very thing you were supposed to be anchoring. But if you stay neutral and bothered, calm, maybe even slightly amused, you pass with flying colors. You show her a rare signal. This man cannot be emotionally controlled. He doesn't dance to chaos. He doesn't get rattled by emotional weather. That neutrality becomes your power. Stop fighting to be understood and start showing her how. Emotionally grounded you are. You don't run from the storm. You become the eye of it. And the more she feels that calm strength in you, the more she's drawn in, often without knowing why. It's not about being cold or dismissive. It's about showing her that you don't need her emotional approval to stay centered. When she realizes she can bring her full emotional spectrum, and you won't be swayed, you become the safest place in her world. And that safety, that grounded energy, that's the foundation of lasting attraction. Stay neutral. Stay powerful. That's how leaders move. That's how real men lead emotionally. Attraction is a paradox. While closeness builds comfort, too much of it kills desire. Most men fall into the trap of being overly available, overly predictable, and overly known. In the beginning, the mystery kept her curious. She didn't know where she stood with you, and that uncertainty created emotional intensity. But over time, you let her fully in every thought, every habit, every plan. You became routine. Safe, yes, but no longer exciting. And the truth is, excitement needs a little distance to breathe, to keep her drawn in. You have to remain slightly unpredictable, not to play games, but to maintain polarity. Change your rhythm. Don't always be the first to text. Break the pattern. Skip a call. Reschedule a meetup. Introduce healthy gaps that force her to feel your absence. It's in that space where desire grows. It's in the pause that she starts wondering again. Where is he? What's he thinking? Is he pulling back? And more importantly, stop listening. Only to her words. A woman may say she wants consistency and emotional openness, and yes, to a degree she does. But her attraction is fueled by what she feels, not just what she hears. Watch her body language. Notice the tension in her voice, the shift in her eyes, the energy between her words. Sometimes she'll say she's fine when she's not. Sometimes she'll say she doesn't want a relationship, but her presence will tell you otherwise. Learn to read between the lines. The unspoken truth often carries more weight than anything she'll verbalize. Be the man who doesn't just listen but feels, who doesn't just show up but shows restraint. The man who isn't always available, but always impactful. That's the man she can't forget. It's the energy she will always chase. Be that. Stay unpredictable. Stay powerful.